Good morning, guys. It is Monday, March the 7th, and today we're up here in Montmorency. We're up here disking all the hard spots and where we bogged up from picking this past year. So currently heading up here to where the tractor is with the disc hair, and today I'm just going to show Frank around what needs to be disked, all the hard spots that we still have left up here. We have today and tomorrow before the rain comes, so we're trying to get everything disked before then. We still got to grease the disc hair, and then should be good to go. We're going to check it out, make sure nothing's wrong with it. We have had problems with it already this year with the outside right wing lift cylinder not wanting to pick up all the way. Somehow it got air in it. We got it good enough to get it off the ground. Hopefully we can get this done and we can get it back to the shop and work on it. Hopefully we can get done disking with it. And then once I show him everything and get him going, we got to head back to the shop and work on the 1720 planter. We got to finish putting a few gauge wheels on it and getting the scrapers set right, and we should be done with that until it's time to start planting. So I'll see you when we get to that point. So we got the disc hair greased, and now we're heading across the ditch over here to get to the few fields we got on that side of the ditch. Crossing for the ditch ain't wide enough to barely get a truck across, so we have to go all the way around here on Highway 78 to even get over there with most of our equipment. So he's back there. I don't know how well you can see that, but he's back there in the tractor with the disc hair on it. So we're heading back to get across the ditch and then show him on that side of the ditch what needs to be disked, which is mainly just hard spots over there. We really didn't catch a lot of the rain till we got across the ditch and got about 300 acres left when all that rain came through. So it wasn't too bad. I think all the wet spots are disked. Now it's just getting the hard clay spots that is up here. So hopefully we won't have a problem strip tilling it in a few months. All right, we are on the road heading across, just across the ditch. So I just showed them what all needs to be disked still up here on that side of the ditch. Now I'm heading to the John Deere dealership store, whatever you want to call it, to pick up some parts and head back and finish up that planter. So I'll see you. Boy. Finally made it back to the shop. So now we're going to get I had to get some nuts to finish up the strip till so we can get it out of the way. Then we're going to pull the planter over here and hopefully finish it up. So these are the parts I picked up from Deere, the nuts for the strip till, and then these, when we replaced these on all 24 of them on the planter, and 2 of them were cracked, so we had to get 2 more, and they finally came in. So these are the nuts I got. They go on these bolts, the bushings for the bedding wheels and the press wheels. We got these first 6 rows we got to do. That's all we had enough of these bushings that go in here for, and we have to wait to get the other set of them. So I'm going to do these real quick and then we're going to get to the planter. So now that we got the strip till away, or good enough to be able to move it out the way, we're going to move it where the planter is. We're going to move the planter and bring it here so I can finish up on it and hopefully get up under the shed today. So we'll get this folded up and pulled out of the way so we can get the strip till over here. Now that we got the planter out the way, we're gonna get in the strip till, a 370, and get it pulled out of the way now. So these are the last two we got to put on right there, and then on this very outside. We got the parts for it to actually get them back together now. With these plates over here, like I said. There's two we got to do. So this is what you call a gauge wheel press, and what it does is it presses those tires onto the plates. So what you got to do is you got to take your plastic piece, and you want the middle holes, only one of the three is going to be lined up with one of the outer ones, and you want that one to go on that pin or needle, whatever you want to call it. Slide that down. Before you put the tire in, you got to knock this bearing down in it. One thing that'll help these tires slide on better is take some Dawn dish soap and dilute it in some water. And you're going to take a brush of some sort and put it right in there on that inner ring. And just set it down there on flat like that. And then you're going to take your metal plate and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to line it up, whichever one's in line with the hole, so it'd be this one, and you want to put it the exact same way you put it, the plastic piece on. And then this piece goes on top, and then you press it down in. So they both should come through like that. And you're going to take it over here to your press. Set it up in there, make sure it's in the middle, and then you're going to take some more of your soapy water and put along this plastic piece all the way around to help lube it up to get it to slide down in there easier. And then we take this piece of metal then we take this, put it right in there like that, and then take your hand jack. You just press the wheel down in there. And once you get it about that far down from the plate, you're going to take your water, and then now you're going to lube up the top piece, because that top piece wants to go in a lot easier than that bottom piece. So you wait to lube this one up till you get the top piece started and in enough, and you just press it down in it. And you see it pop down on that bottom piece like that. And you just press it the rest of the way in. It'll force itself down in there. And then what you do is you get in here, and I don't know how well you can see that, but you can kind of see that bearing right there. You want it to be touching the back side of the plate. And once it's in, you just let off the press and pull it out and take it apart. So you just take it back apart, and then it should be ready to go. So I got one more I gotta do, and then we'll get them bolted up and then put back on the planter. So these are scrapers right here that'll scrape the mud off of the gauge wheel, and these have to be set so that it won't stop this from spinning, but you also don't want to cake up too much mud on it, because then your seed won't be planted the correct depth. So what you gotta do is you gotta loosen this. What you gotta do is you gotta loosen this bolt just a little bit, enough to be able to move this around. And then what you gotta do is you gotta get it about where you want it, and then hold it while tightening down, and then it won't move. As you can see, there's just barely a gap between the wheel and the scraper. And then another thing you want to check for is the gap between the wheel, gauge wheel, and the disc. You don't want that big gap, so what you gotta do is you gotta come in here. You gotta loosen up on this enough to where you can get some movement out of it. And then you turn this little knob right here, you screw it counterclockwise to bring this cam arm in, which in turn will bring your disc in, or your gauge wheel in, like that. I don't know how well you can see that, but you want it just to where there's a small gap, and you should be able to turn it freely. We'll back off of it a little bit. I think that's good. So now we'll tighten it down and get this scraper set back in place again. So that's better. You can see the gap isn't as big there now. You can just barely get your finger there behind it. So I'll do the other one, and then we gotta take all these hoppers loose. So every one of these seed hoppers on each row is held on by this little latch here. Flip it up, you can pull it out of its slot. Once you get the hopper out, you got to take this vacuum line loose, and then open this door right here, and then that exposes your seed plate. And you got to come and turn this piece, and then your seed plate will come off. And you have these little brushes here you want to clean off, and these we got to take and spray some graphite lubricant on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off the other 11 of them and get them inside to lubricate them. Now that I got them all off the planter and in here, we're going to spray it with this graphite lubricant John Deere and then let them dry. So that is all we can do today until we get some parts. I got the seed plates back in the hoppers. That's all we can do today till we get the parts for the strip till. I think tomorrow we're gonna be disking some more, so I'll see you tomorrow.